Are we getting somewhere? Three more minutes before we shift our tables. We change to other table. 3 more minutes. Two minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. We're about to shift. Okay. Okay, 1 more minute so that we give the new participants the chance. If you still feel that you want to remain on the table, you can remain for other team members to come in. If you feel you want to go to another table, you're also allowed to. So the ones who are really passionate about what they're doing can remain. Then the other ones can try to shift to a new table if you feel that you want to. So I'll just go through the tables. We have youth engagement here. We have mentorship programs. I'm not seeing people on vocational training. Vocational training. That's also feedback. Yeah, I'm not seeing people on vocational training, which is very good. Impact measurement. I'm seeing it. And then probably policy on advocacy, access, and inclusion. So if you feel three more minutes. One more minute. One more minute. Should be winding up for those tables. One more minute for us to be able to wind up. One more minute. One more minute. One more minute. Okay, for now it's time to shift to another table if you so wish. For the people who so wish to, I remember, where is Doreen? It's your time to shift to another table now.
We're moving to the next table. Come on, guys.
Yes.
Let's stand up. If you feel you still want to sit on that very table, you can remain. But for the rest, let's move. Let's keep moving. Let's get to interact with other people as well. So let's keep the momentum, guys. If you feel that there's some unfinished businesses, just remain there and continue the conversation. If not, explore, see what's on the other table. So let's move, let's move.
Explore. Adult allies. You want to move to another table? It's the only chance you have. move to another table. Yes. If you want to remain here, you have to remain. It's impact measurement. Even you can access and inclusion. This one is career mentorship. No, we can just create a space. We can just create a space. This is the time to move if you want. If you want to. It's okay. Time is going. Time is going. Time is running. Yes, you need to get up. No, not slow motion. Wait. Get up. Get up. Move to another table, please. Because there are people who want to come here and they don't have space. Which other table would you want to participate in? There's so many. There's vocational training there. There's nobody. So they got. It's very hard for them to move out. They don't want to move out from here. Let me call you. Give the seat to you like that so that I can tell her to come. She wants to come. Yes, there's space for you, Daktari. There's also space for you here. You can just come even with it. You're coming, there's seats there. Then, yeah, you can come. Let me take it for you. Let's move this. Excuse kidogo tu tuweke daktari kiti hapa. But it's like kuna mtu James enda vocational training hakuna mtu. Kwa nini? Na nyinyi ndio mayu. Nobody is on that table. Haya. Tuonge. Skills. You're looking for skills. I don't know. Maybe here there's youth outreach, something close to that. There's nothing like skills. Youth outreach is there. Access and inclusion, it can fall under that. Finance Mpale. Finance is here. Come, finance. If you want finance, it's here. Finance, naona ni kama utatoka hapa. Watu wanakuja. It's engaging. Finance, ndio pesa sasa wanakuja. Finance is. Yeah, let's shift. If you are shifting, that's the only chance. You're looking for which one? Vocational training, at least, yeah, skills and workshops. Yeah, at least somebody handles vocational training. So has to be able to hear. Mentorship programs are here. Outreach wametoka wote. You are really outreaching. You are doing outreach. Umesema mtoke wote. That is very good. Outreach has decided to go outside. Akae kwa na huko. You are looking for? Just sit and continue. Yeah, about 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, 10 minutes would be okay. Are they supposed to put up the sticky note? Oh, it's right for the next. Oh, okay. No problem. Okay. So we have 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So find a space. There's someone. Oh, okay. So let's discuss. Find out the pressing things to be. Oh, they've already run away. They were here. They've already gone. They've finished. But you can find a partner. They've already gone. They've moved to other places. Find some other place to discuss. We have 10 minutes. 10 minutes to be able to find out more. Financial support is in front. Vocational training is here. Adult allies are here. Impact measurement, very key, is here. Access and inclusion. Career readiness is here. We also have others are discussing. You are diverse. I've already seen the chair lady. I know the chair lady. adult life, mentorship programs. Seven more minutes. You have 7 minutes. 7 minutes for you to continue. 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining for us to be able to continue doing this last round. Make sure you exhaust your issue-based content well, so that you're able to do it very well. Okay, we should be winding up. Gen Z wanawaka. Gen Z,
I see they're asking for more minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Because I've taken the one. She's saying it was 5.
No, 2 minutes is okay.
Let them finish. I think it's really engaging. So, okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, we finish. What? Let's wind up. Let's wind up. Winding up. You've already done. I know this.
Unfortunately,
I'm already getting feedback. And I'm telling them, because you're my boss, I can forward those those feedbacks to you.
yes,
Yeah.
being a moderator sometimes requires you to be mean in a way, and because we have to keep time, we have to finish everything in a day. Sometimes we have to shelve some of this discussion over lunch hour, over the healthy breaks, and keep discussing and keep talking and keep networking. So unfortunately, we have to stop it from here. And it would also just I'm curious to listen to some of the feedbacks, that you are alluding to. So we can,
I can take it away.
yeah.
So one of the participants was telling me they actually feel the thematic sessions are very intensive.
Can we have that participant say it? Is he or she here?
Yes,
To
he's
share that feedback.
He's already here to share.
Okay,
the feedback.
let's give him the mic. No,
Hi,
just remain on the
everyone.
tables. Yes, don't move.
Hi, everyone. Our topic is very, very, very much interesting, and we still need more time. See, the issue of access and inclusion is very wide, and maybe it touches all aspects of our life. So maybe we need more time to discuss the access and inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. That is taken note of. I appreciate the feedback. And Angela and Ivan are also taking note of that. Great.
Yeah, thank you. Very good discussions on the career readiness and job placement. We're actually getting the challenges that young people are facing when it comes to career readiness. And one of the issues that are coming out clearly is the fact that young people, when they are looking for jobs, hello, big tables, thank you. Yeah, so you realize that young people are finding it a challenge getting jobs. Number one, they take their CVs to some of these big companies, and they get man receives, and they don't get any feedback. Again, there's the issue of young people who want internship, but they are told to pay for that internship, which is again something that we want to review moving forward. And I just want to say that I'm told Red Cross also, when you want internship, you pay. So, because I feel that it's a high time now we need to have this discussion. Why should you pay for internship yet you're just going to learn? Yeah, so I think some of these things we need to review. They've been there over time, but it's high time we can now review them. And one of the things we are saying in this table is that we need an internship policy for the county, such that it can be able to advise in terms of the internship process, and even have some stipends for those who are being interns, so that it can address the fact that we need 10 years experience for young people to be in some specific positions. So the internship policy can cover all that. Yeah, and then we also urging the youth here to friend raise, or to have friends across, because sometimes just being my friend, you never know, I can give you a very big opportunity somewhere. So have as many friends in the room as possible. We've shared our cards here, so they have about 10 cards from all of us, from career readiness, so you can begin with that. And if you need any opportunity, we are open, but again we are saying it must be put in policy. Thank you.
Wow, this has been a very rich discussion. And maybe you are not keen, but Mariam never left this table. For all the rounds that guys were moving, she was mostly here. And I think because the issue, when it comes to youth agenda, youth matters involving the youth, she's so passionate about that. And like she has mentioned, network is important. I know some things, I've gotten some gigs or some, speaking in forums or attending some forums. I've been able to do that through her network and through her referral. So should know people. And also, I also paid for my internship, by the way. Most government institutions, I don't know whether that is a policy in government, you kind of pay for your attachment. But I was given a stipend. Yeah, go ahead.
Speaking on behalf of this table number one. So initially the table was called the impact measurement table, but After initial discussions, we shifted it to monitoring, evaluation, and learning. One, because impact measurement is broad, a bit too technical, and it's what I'm an M&E practitioner, and the conversations we've been trying to steer here relate to the need for us to establish systems and processes in whatever capacity or level that we're working to ensure that we are constantly taking stock of what we're doing, basically monitoring our work, reviewing our data, that is, evaluating and assessing what we're doing, learning, and most importantly, adapting. And if we do this well, it sets us up to be able to do impact measurement once we are where we need to be, once we define what success looks like. So together with the initial members of the table, we agreed to take a step back, talk a bit more about monitoring and evaluation, setting up this basic system. What does that look like for organizations that don't have a lot of resources, don't have technical people on the team? What can they do? So I've been sharing a bit about some of the free resources that I know. People can go online, get trainings, get certifications, get free templates, and we've shared contacts, so we'll keep talking. But I've also encouraged those who came to the table to connect with our research champions. We've been working with KISUMU for the past 3 years. These are researchers. It's not very different from MEL, and those are the kinds of relationships that will help them to get to the next level. And we'll keep coordinating and see if we get a MEL technical working group for Kenya, then it's something we need to do. But yeah, that's how the conversation went here.
So what I'm actually getting is, as you said, we cannot just look impact and measurement in isolation. It's important to also understand it from the monitoring and evaluation perspective. And as you just said, by the way, it's very important for young people to understand that as much as they're bringing these wonderful initiatives for themselves, you also need to understand that part of actually being accountable and to be able to measure it. And we also have free courses, as you said. So it's important to understand there are free courses which are online. I don't know where he gets his from, but I know one of the impact measurement, if you've heard of the SDG, Finance Academy, for the people who know, it's under UNDP. We have free courses on introduction to impact and measurement. It's very important that you're able to understand so that even when you're saying you're having interventions for the youth, as much as you're not a technical expert, you are able to understand the background of it and how it relates to your program. So we can also go online for the ones who are interested to learn from the free courses and interact with maybe myself and him, because we have a background in that. Back to you, Yuri. Thank you.
Okay, of all the thematic areas of discussion, I've sampled this one where I was, that is on career development and placement. And finally, on there's a fee currently being charged with attachment to you, which the MC has also talked about. So I just wanted to tell the youth that there's upcoming finance bill for the KISUMU County as well. Rather than the national finance bill, there's always the county finance bill, and all these that are being charged, they are anchored in that bill. So the youth, take your time, go through the bill, understand the key focus areas in that bill, so that you can propose petitions and amendments to that bill. It is coming, I think, by July, so that there are some clauses that can be deleted to help. I'm made to understand that UTRH, the current former Rush, is charging 3,000 for the health students to get attachment. So those are the things that we can youths go through those bills. We should not only focus on the national bill, but there are also the county bills which comes into works. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Angela and Ivan, from the conversation that we are having, in my mind, I'm thinking like we need to start prioritizing these topics, because you can see there is, some people are aligning on one particular topic, feeling that this really stands out, this is really important, and we need to discuss more. I think we'll take two more. Oh, Sylvia already has a mic. Go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is the adult ally table. Yeah, it grew in number as we continued. And so we really only had time to talk about two things. And so one of them was really inspired by a question that came from that side of the room in terms of, so how do we, like Orude and James are just two people, how do we get more? So thinking about how do we expand that? And some things that came, we talked about is how can we identify or map out adults who we already know are youth champions. So, for example, we have some of them, the allies in the room. So who else do they know are like them? So mapping can take various forms, but just starting to understand who are these people and trying to work with them so that even if you're not in the icon, that's a way you can continue to work with these people. Then we also talked about creating more platforms, or rather bringing in both youth and adults into engagement platforms. So for example, if you're having a youth event, it doesn't mean that everybody needs to be a young person. So we start normalizing the fact that even if you're working on youth issues, it's normal to bring in stakeholders into the conversation. Another thing that came about is if you know you're an adult ally, you're a champion for young people, whenever you're invited into such a youth space, tag somebody along with you, someone you work with in your department, even if they're hostile to young people, maybe as they see how you engage, how you're interacting, the mindset will shift. So how many people can you tag along to the various engagements that you're brought into? So I threw an idea that we started discussing at our table with Anne around, so what if we actually conduct a training of trainers to already existing youth champions in KISUMU, so allies, and they can also take the same to their peers. And a very good point was made here around understanding who are the short callers in the county. So those are the people that training needs to happen for. Because sometimes you may think it's the person at the highest office, like the governor, who has the power, but it's really maybe the county secretaries, the clerks. Those are the people that if they are bought in, then the rest becomes easier. So really trying to understand who are the power holders and how do we work with them, how do we work through the existing youth champions, the allies, to reach these people. Something that came up, I think the last one was when it comes to co-creation. And I think quite honestly, I'll say that as the icon, we've struggled a bit in terms of adult allies. It's changed over time. What do you want to do it? How do you want to go about it? And this point came about, and I realized this is part of it. When we were co-creating, for example, I'll just use our program as an example, Youth Excel, we definitely engaged youth. That was such similar thinking in terms of as we are engaging young people. That's a hard one. So this was the idea of like the CSOs or the youth feel a certain way about decision makers and vice versa. And so one of the things that came up was around getting the right information. Sometimes it's misinformation or this that spreads that. So getting the right information from the right sources and communicating the same. We also talked about this even in the previous point, so that we don't see that we are enemies, integrating each other into our activities, so that it's not like we are building two silos of this is a youth activity, so adults not allowed in this space, but like trying to see how we can make it a normal thing to work together. Maybe something else that came up is another idea that came up is about how can we have also room for like a bit of CSR in our budgets. And so what was the meaning here, if I captured it correctly, was about even if it's granular, as CSOs, when we see the government is doing something like a tree planting activity, if we have even a small budget to just contribute 10 seedlings to that activity, then we see, okay, we are in this together. So small little things that can make a difference, and see that we are not just here about our agenda, we also care about your agenda. And yeah, it was reiterated the point on the government doesn't work through activism, but through or from a combative attitude, but through dialogue. And for me, the question that left me is, as young, I'm saying as young people as if I'm a young people, but putting myself in the heart of a young person, as young people, do we have the right dialogue skills? Like, do we have skills on engaging in dialogue that can help us to get what we want in a non-combative way as needed? And yeah, so that's as far as we got in the few minutes we had.
That's very well. I've seen actually it's very important as you said, and what has really captured me, it's not about adult space or youth space, it's about working collaboratively to ensure that now your space you're able to find yourself. I'd also want to get an opinion from the vocational training and also maybe from the finance, but I'm saying this is the big table as I'm being told. I don't know who's going to speak on their behalf.
Okay, thank you. That's an honor. Allow me to use my neighbor's notes because first I was in finance. Then when I finished, I joined them because I was waiting for people to go to vocational, but they were not going. So when we were joined here, then I decided to move here. So the group discussed about the skills that the youth need. And they said they needed financial skills or financial literacy. They also need a bit of communication skills because, you know, for you to express yourself, you have to do it the right way. And then there was also the discussion about having a conversation with the vocational training centers to meet with employers or to meet with institutions that can employ the youth, or also even the industries that are now upcoming around Kisumu. But at the same time, they were saying that one of the challenges that are there now is that I may go for the vocational training, but then where do I now get the skills? I've got the book skills, but the practical skills, I need to get them from somewhere. So of course, by the time I came in, I hope I didn't take over the table, but I was trying to explain to them that at the Office of the Women Rep, what we do is we identify those who have gone to Juakali but need to do a trade test so that they can be able to compete for the available contracts that are there. Because if you are not certified, you may be very good at repairing vehicles. But if you want to apply, they will tell you to attach the relevant certificates. Now, there are also those who have gone for driving school but need to be employed by either parastatals or government institutions. You need to go for the suitability test, which we also sponsor. But at the same time, we also have those who maybe they have been going around with contractors, wanaenda mjengo, they have wanajua kukoroga, they know how to plaster, but how do they convert that into a certificate that they can also position themselves and apply for contracts? So at the office, we also bridge that gap. But we have not stopped there because, and one of our colleagues also mentioned that that is why the government decided to bring back CBC, because we want to identify those skills when you're still young. I think we are still fumbling as a country, but I know we will get there, where now you will be able to identify the skill a child has from the time they are young, and then you hone those skills. So by the time they get to a point where now they can actually apply it, they have gone through every institution that can build them, and if possible, certified. But at the same time, we are saying that the vocational training centers are there, but one thing we have realized is that the youth prefer coming to town. Recently, we sponsored about 382 youth to TVET, but no one wanted to go to Akado, which is in Kisumu East. Everybody wants to come to Rotary, which is in the middle of town. But now what we are realizing is our condition for sponsorship is that you must go to the nearest so that you minimize on the cost to the parent, because you're only sponsoring the course and also lunch, but not your transport movement. But they were agreeing to walk to Rotary and back. So I think what we also need to do is maybe the name that my certificate has got Rotary and not that name Akado, you know, is like you went to Nairobi University and you went to another university. Those who have gone there understand. Maybe that is also something else. But I think at the end of its perception, yeah. So even as we are seeking for the skills, we also need to be cognizant of that fact, that you may be willing to offer the skills, but where are you offering it from? And are the youths going to be, will they accept the place where you're offering it from? So maybe the conversation needs to continue, but I think we had a very productive discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was actually very informative. Now I'm saying the way it is. And as you said, perceptions is a key issue, how we engage the youth, and probably them even having that information, because part of the ICON strategy And the thematic areas is access to information, because I may have those skills, but I don't know how to convert them into a certificate. And if I don't have that certification, even if it's a casual job like a driver, I will not get that opportunity. So access to information is key, and it has really come out well. At the finance table, or others, then once, others, you've been forgotten, others. Yeah, because you are among others, I'm being told. We had forgotten you. I can see the chair lady, she is really vouching for it. Maybe she can actually put in a word before we come back in front here. Okay.
Yes. As Gen Zs are doing it again outside there. We just were able to look at the potential opportunities of connecting as organizations, and it is actually massive. We saw UNICEF having a number of opportunities for young people to take home, be able to take advantage of. Particularly, there was AKN, there was Imagine Ventures, there was Big Ring Africa, among others that young people can take advantage of in the organizations. And then we are also looking at development partners focusing on localizing development so that people within those communities drive change. We also saw what opportunities are there in government for young people to take advantage of, particularly the Office of the Women Representative. And we suggested that the Office of Women Representative should also take advantage of social media to communicate to young people, not only Facebook. Mike wanted me to keep quiet a little. So, and also, if you look at, we are saying that there are some young people who may not be politically networked, but if we use the standard ways of reaching young people, for instance, village elders, there's a group of young people will be reached well and good if we use, but there is chances that people will feel that this is political. But if we reach young people through the networks that they are already used to, then we are likely to transform this to be much more open space for young people to feel safe. It's about feeling safe. It could be true that there's no political inclination in terms of selection, but perceptions are very powerful, and what people will say. So we motivate the office to consider using social media and local organization networks strongly to reach young people with information on the opportunities that they have.
Thank you very much. You have represented the table well. And I mean, that was just a building step to the next session that we want to have. And from every feedback that is coming in, you know, they're saying we want, we will. But how do we make this concrete? How do we ensure that this is actually actualized? Yes. And I think Angela and Evan are ready to tell us what it means when it comes to developing these partnerships for change. Thank you very much for your feedback, and over to you, Evan.
Yes, over to you.
I can almost say good afternoon. We're getting pretty close to lunch. Raise your hands if you would have liked to have had more time at the tables. Raise your hands up high. Okay, someone with their hand up, reach down and grab your little card and bring it to your lunch table. We have another hour of lunch coming up in 45 minutes and more time for this conversation. We have just experienced how amazingly rich it is to be each other's teachers. And the level of energy when we can do that with each other is just a game changer. And I don't want to lose that moment. So what we're going to do is take each of these conversations as much as we possibly can, bring that energy into our breakouts that we had yesterday. We're here to create new things. We're also here to build on the powerful experiences of the ICON's work over the last couple of years. So what we're going to do in the next 45 minutes before our stomachs revolt and bring us north to the restaurant is break into our 3 sections. We're going to have over here, Sue, can you wave over here? Yes, Steve's waving as well. We'll have one group here. This is going to be, we're going to use the old name. So the capacity and skills icon team is going to meet over here, where Steve and Sue are. We're going to have over here, right behind me, we'll have the policy, the Youth KISUMU policy group meet right here. And then back at the next to Rita, can you wait for me? We have another station there, and that's going to be our resource center finance group that's been working really in the same powerful way as the other two. So 3 groups. Yesterday you had a chance to join a group. You don't need to go back to the same group, but if you were feeling that connection and you're starting to make some progress, I'd really recommend that you go back to the same group, dedicate, and build. So what are we going to do? This conversation is what we're calling partnerships for change. So there's a moment happening right now. We're pivoting from research for change to building collaborative relationships, trust, and partnerships. It's time to do. Still always time to learn, but it's time to do and to make together. And as we do our research, we uncover a world of things. We could do so much. We had the data this morning. Lots of things were sticky, what you remembered about yesterday's presentations. But we also need to spend some time refining and focusing. If we do everything, we won't do everything well. Spread too thin, we're not powerful, we're not change agents. Focus like a laser beam, unite with diverse perspectives, teach each other the lessons you've learned. Adult allies, youth, together in consortium makes the difference. So this next 45 minutes until 1 o'clock is to focus more around what you want to do in the icon. And we're going to use a really simple way to give that consideration. We're going to think about feasibility. So what would be feasible in about 10 to 12 months? That's about what we have left together in our icons to turn from research to change to partnership for change. What can we do realistically in 10 to 12 months with the people we have in the room, with the resources we have in KISUMU, with the history and traditions that we have moving forward on these issues? And let's evaluate what we can accomplish. For example, the group that was looking at registering youth businesses, we saw some really aspirational ideas. At one point in the presentation yesterday morning, the idea was, what if we could register 1,000 youth businesses over a few months? So the question would be in these groups, is that feasible? Can we achieve that in 10 to 12 months? That's one dimension. The second thing we want you to consider is, what about demonstration of impact? What can we do together in the icon groups that will have a powerful influence on youth experiences, on people with disabilities or women in KISUMU, and will showcase possibilities so that you can continue the work? What can we do that will demonstrate powerful influence and impact in 10 to 12 months? So those two dimensions will help us identify our focus. And we're going to use this really simple grid. We've got the flip charts here. You'll use little sticky notes to play around. And we're going to debate. You're going to generate ideas. I'd like to have 2 icon members from each of the groups co-facilitate. And I'd love to see the kinds of energy we had yesterday in the breakout groups, where people were throwing out ideas, sharing lessons from 5 years ago, from 2 years ago, perspectives from the sub-counties. Get that all in there and generate a collection of different possibilities for focus. And then I want you to think about where that fits on this matrix. So if something, kind of the holy grail, is high impact, super feasible, okay? We can do this in 10 to 12 months, and it would have significant impact. So we're going to put those sticky notes kind of over here, okay, up in the upper right. things that are really high impact, but maybe a little bit harder to finish or complete, or maybe there'd be challenges and roadblocks along the way, a little less feasible, we'll put them on this side, and it might be high impact. We might have something that's pretty difficult to do. Maybe we decide collectively that it's lower impact. So we'll use this to kind of sort a little bit. This should not be decisional. It should be more generative, brainstorming, identifying possibilities, and take that all the way to lunch at 1 o'clock. We'll come and give you a 5-minute warning. We'll have sticky notes right here by your flip charts, and we'll have a really quick share out just before we go to lunch to have you tell us what you think of the top 3 to 5 focal areas for each icon. Any questions? I will. Anyone have any questions? Angela, how do we do? Good? Okay, super. Okay, so one more time. We're going to have the capacity and skills team over here. Over here, we're going to have behind George and Steve is going to be the policy. The policy group over here. I think I'm switching around. Oh, well. Policy over here. And then finally over here was going to be the resource center and the finance. Good? You know where we're going? Okay, icon members lead the way. Hoodies, swag, lead us, and we will bug you in about 40 minutes.
So policy team are coming over here.
Capacity skills. Capacity skills here.
Yeah, capacity skills.
Resource, finance behind.
Yes.
Policy on my right.
Yes, policy is actually here.
Policy on my right where Steve is standing. Capacity skills is right over here. Good. I see guys are taking their seats. That's quick. That's nice. We are saving on time. I like that. Policy on my right where Steve is standing. Resource centers and financing where Arthur is standing right over there. That is behind. Arthur is the gentleman with the African attire, a very unique one from West Kenya. Where is it? Western Africa. Sorry. From West Africa, Ghana to be specific.
Policy.
That's Arthur. Capacity skills to my left, where Rita is standing, where Bread Power is, where Dallas Spaces are. We have Doreen here. We have Anna here. Welcome. This capacity skills. Grab a seat. If you want to join the policy team, you feel like you haven't finished business from yesterday's engagement, come to my right where Steve is standing.
Yes.
You will see, who do you see there? I can see James from SRI.
I see Emmanuel.
Emmanuel is over there. Angela is standing over there. Mariam is joining the team. So if you feel like, I've got new ideas for the policy team, I have strategies, I know how we can do this better, please feel free to join the policy team on my right. You can widen the table as, so that we can accommodate everybody. Let us not lock anybody out in terms of anchoring their voices and sharing. So feel free to open up the circle so that we all sit, on a round table. Don't sit behind someone. If we can open up that space so that we can accommodate everybody, so that every voice is heard. I like what the resource center guys are doing. They've really opened up the space so that everybody is accommodated. This is very good. Thank you. Iconers, make sure you are in those groups as well, just to give further guidance on how we can go about this. Thank you. Thank you, the policy team, for also opening up the space and ensuring that everybody is sitting on a round table. Nobody is sitting behind. This is nice. That's what we've been talking about since day one. Nice. And the capacity skills guys have also followed suit. Good students, you're learning very fast. So I think we are now settled, and the iconers will take over in terms of guiding you on how to go about it and what next. So Doreen, Are you in charge here? Or who is in charge? You're going to make that decision amongst yourselves, and you can continue. We have James and the policy team. Who is taking lead here? You in charge?
Who is the leader here?
Sorry? Oh, Emmanuel is here,
Who's the
yourself,
president
so
and
you
who's
guys
the
can
deputy
decide
president?
how you want to go about it. Okay, guys. We'll catch up in 40 minutes.
We're all together. Who's the president? Who's the deputy president? It has to be gender sensitive. Or she's joining. Or she's a air hostess somewhere. Okay, wonderful. Okay, no problem.
This is a heads up that we're about 5 minutes from lunch. So continue to work on what you are now, and then I'm going to do a really quick visit to each station. 5 minutes.
So for us, the high impact has been coming through the document, scan and domesticate the Kenya Youth Development Policy. That has been the high impact. Then the other one has been reviewing KISUMU County Youth Integrated Development Plan of 2019-2023 is expired. Then high visibility, we have had sharing of the roadmap by the department. I'm happy that they have committed here. Then the other high visibility has been using of hybrid platform, that is the physical advisor, to support the integration of youth.
If I were to ask you, we're riding an elevator up to the third floor for the restaurant. What is the goal of the icon for the next 10 months?
For us, our goal is to have a youth-specific policy.
Okay. So there'll be more conversation about how far that goes. Is it going to be a policy that's approved by government? Is it a draft policy that has consensus among youth and stakeholders? So there's a list where they go there. And you're doing an amazing job identifying the activities to get you there. Okay, great. Let's go over here. Could you give me 2 examples of potentially high impact, high feasible goals for the icon?
So thank you. Number one is the strategic awareness, such that we first train the key ambassadors, then the ambassadors multiplies down the community. That is number one, the strategic awareness. Then there is the concept of repackaging the advocacy approach. Like we have there the Young Investors Forum. That is an idea addressing the repackaging of the approaches to reach out to the youth.
Okay, great. So we have an example of Impact Investors Forum, and we're playing with whether or not that might be one of the priority goals for the icon. Great. Could I get someone in this group to share a tip on how best to make this process work? Who has a tip? What have you learned about this process in the last hour, and what can you share about how to make it work best? Yep. Anybody?
I think what we're seeing is we have a lot of discussion in our group, and that sometimes it's helpful to just get the ideas down and not talk through them in so much depth, because we had a lot more ideas than even we got up here.
Do you agree with that observation? Because we're large groups, we need tricks. And the trick that we introduced for this conversation is a flip chart with a matrix. Don't spend too much time talking until you get things up. Then you can talk, because what happens, things get lost. Great ideas get lost right into the floor, into the rug. Okay.
Well noted.
This group deserves a round of applause because you're so big. Can we get some applause for these guys?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay. So you definitely got things up.
Yeah.
You see how many? You see this? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's your task. You can only tell me 2. Only 2 stickies. Only 2 stickies.
Yes.
Thank you. So there are very many powerful things that came. I'll just allow me to add only one. So they be 3.
Okay. You can go deep in 2, but no more.
So one issue that came up really strongly that was also in the finding was around awareness. So a lot of other stakeholders feel that they can support and work around awareness creation so that people are aware of resource centers. another issue that was also coming out very strongly was around youth management of the resource centers and also getting them involved in the activities in the resource centers beyond just access to information on employment and business opportunities.
Okay, that's 2. Perfect. I've got a bonus question for you.
Yes.
It is now the year 2025.
Yes.
What does success look like?
So, success would look like this for us. One, we would have a resource center, at least one resource center that young people would love to use, and the county government would really see it as meaningful to have that resource center. So if we complete 2025 with that, we'll be very happy.
Okay, great. That's really concrete. It may not be where you land at the end of the day or at the end of the month, but that's what we're looking for, that level of clarity and focus. Awesome. Where are my friends? It's going to be lunchtime. You ready? Steve, I'll let you take it away. I think we're ready for lunch.
Yeah, it would be nice if you're taking it for lunch. I'm just asking them and I'm telling them that I want to make sure the resource center is accessible. It's user-friendly, and define that user-friendliness. Do you have internet? Are we able to use the washroom facilities well? Do we have the Braille incorporated so that we're able to make sure impairment? Yeah, so we want all that checklist so that even if it is one, but all those boxes are actually ticked. So that is the success that I see for the resource center. Back to you, Purity.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for, the discussions that you are having. You've done so well. Thank you for coming up with the ideas and the roadmap. So before we break for lunch, just a quick reminder that if you haven't signed the hotel participant list, as well as the Red Cross participant list, please ensure you do so at the reception over there where the ushers are. Make sure that you sign the both participant lists. And lunch will be served on the first floor where we were yesterday. If you don't have a lunch voucher, please remain behind so that we can sort that out. But I believe most of us have lunch vouchers. Cindio. So we come back in an hour's time. You'll find me here, ready, waiting for latecomers. We have a very, very exciting afternoon session. And the earlier you come, the earlier we close. If you delay, we will stay here until 6. So we'll have a panel discussion over lunch hour. We also have some sort of entertainment before we go into the panel discussion. So I look forward to seeing you after lunch. Bon appetit, enjoy your lunch, and thank you for being so active in terms of participation.
Enjoy lunch.
We prayed in the morning, it covered lunch.
Yes.